No, there have been 14 consecutive losses, and that was a unique one. That was a different kind of loss.
He's smiling already, man. Look at him. He knows it was crazy.
Yeah, it was just a crazy game. Like, I don't normally start this way. Normally, I would start more specific, but like broadly, like what do you think you'll take and remember from that game and how that somehow turned into a loss?
What do I take from it? That things can flip quickly. That it's a tale of two halves. That you gotta play a full game. You gotta play a complete full game. And I mean, I feel like we dang near played a perfect game in the first half, and a not so perfect game the second half. I mean, I don't know. I ain't been a part of one like that. That was new for me. For me too, just being up. Well, I think it was 28-7 at one point.
Yep, 28-7.
Yeah, no, that's different. That hurts. And I think of all the losses, I think that one's probably the one that hurts the most, because it's like you get up 21. Like, I mean, normally you quit the game in Madden when you're up 21 points, and it's like we couldn't finish it. And I mean, like I said, it was just a bigger example of just learning how to win. Like, it's not just about getting up or making certain plays. It's about the consistency, and then just some timely mistakes, I think, on our part. I feel like as a defense, I think especially the one towards the end, the 2-minute drill with Smitty. I mean, I thought he played a very good game, especially his first start, going in there making plays, making tackles, having some pass breakups, and then you give up. I won't even say you give up, but you're not in the position that you ideally want to be in, and they hit a whole shot to go down, ended up kicking the field goal. It's just like, if that play happened in the first quarter, nobody cares. But it's like just the position that we live in, a shot like that is like, dang, we wish we can take that off our head. But I mean, that's just an example of many plays in that game where it's just some costly things, and we gotta close it out.
Yeah, it left a mark with fans. Hell, Jaylon, my wife was at the game, and like 2 hours after the game, she turned to me. She said, "I still don't understand how they lost that." Like, it just kind of it rings around your head for a while, you know? Yeah. What was it ringing around with you guys too for a while after the game, or even today? This one leave a mark a little bit in that way.
Oh yeah, I know. I sat with TJ and Tremaine after the game for a little bit, and we were almost some of the last ones to leave, and it's just like that ain't one that you want to let go. Of course, like, nobody takes losing easy and anything like that, but that loss, that one hurt. And it's like, especially for me, knowing that I thought there could have been some plays that I could have made out there to help change that game and take some things away, and then just seeing those guys like hurting, because it's like I know the time that guys put in. I mean, we put a smile on our face each and every week, each and every day, and try to continue to push, but it's like, at some point, man, like, it starts to hurt. And it's like a one like that, too, where we prepared. We had a heck of a week, trying to have a bounce-back week after the loss against the Chiefs, and we were like, we're going to get back on track. And all the signs point to it, and it's like, just for it to be taken from you like that that definitely hurts.
So you guys play Thursday. It's such a quick turnaround. Like, how do you make it that game doesn't linger and impact you guys in 3 days?
I would honestly just say it's just like, it's your focus. And I think, too, like, normally days like this, you don't spend too much time on that other film. Like, you got to get right into the new film. And it's like, you got to get through all your situations. You have your first and second down plays that you got to get through normally on a Wednesday, but today is a Wednesday, so we got to get through the first and second down plays, and then tomorrow is third down, and then really on Wednesday is abbreviated red zone, but on Wednesday you got to fly and travel to Washington, so you really don't have time to soak on it or like to have time to think of what truly went wrong. It's like, we got to get to this next game. So I think all the focus now is just getting that next one. And I think the hunger that we had is just continuing to grow, of course, but it's like you don't really have time to focus and soak on like the other days. I mean, normally you'll have the Monday, the Tuesday, and then you focus on the next team on that Wednesday. But we don't have that break.
Can we focus on something really, really good for a minute here? Justin looked.
I was about to say, we gonna talk about Justin or what?
Come on now. Like that guy, he looked so comfortable and calm and like decisive. That was a different human yesterday, wasn't it? Jaylon, that was impressive.
Oh no, you dang right for me. Hey, that's the Justin that we know is in him. And I think it's not surprising for us. It's just like, hey, that's who we know you are. And it's like it's one of those things where it's like when you're around a high level guy, when you're around and you trust and believe in somebody the way that I know we do, then it's like nothing like that surprises us. But we definitely love to see that. We love to see him having fun, offense, him and Cole. I mean, he's making some plays that he normally I thought didn't make. I don't like saying it, but he had some Mahomes like little plays, especially on the one to Cole on the goal line. He was running, he stepped back, found Cole. Like that's playing with confidence, playing comfortable, playing loose. And we know when he does those things, there's not anything that he can do. And I mean, I've said that over and over, and I'm just happy that it was able to come out and be expressed by him. And of course, I know he didn't finish it and bring home the W like he wanted to, but I still was amazed and happy and proud of the way he played.
That's awesome. Yeah, that play, he had the pocket on a string on the Khalil Herbert touchdown where he's just like buying time with little side steps. So like, so what changed? How much of it is his personal confidence and comfort level? How much is that a part of that change for him?
Honestly, I think for me, it comes down, and I think just the game in general, I think the game, confidence comes with execution. And I feel like when you execute early, I feel like it brings confidence. Now you're rolling, and I feel like that momentum is a big thing. Like that's a real thing in the NFL is that momentum, being able to create big plays and create exciting plays, and that carries on momentum, that carries on confidence. The linemen start blocking a little harder. People are communicating, playing with Jews, getting downfield blocks. Justin's out there moving around, maneuvering, playing loose, playing free. Like that early execution plays a big role into that confidence, into that juice. And I think we had that in our fight towards on defense too. I think the defense getting plenty of stops in the first half, playing with energy, swag. And then when you're not executing so much, then things kind of start to go down. The confidence isn't there, the juice isn't there. When there's a bad play or something happens, then that's when it can kind of start to snowball. And it's like at some point, you want those big plays to pop back up so you can get that momentum back again.
We're talking to Jaylon Johnson here, and it's sponsored by Plumbers 911. Plumbing emergency, call the plumbing professionals available 24/7 at 1-833-PLUM-911. On that with Justin, man, like listen, we've been rooting for him. He's incredibly talented. No, listen, you'll understand what I'm asking. Like, Denver's defense came in ranked 32nd in the league. I understand what you're talking about, success early, confidence, momentum, all of that stuff. And some of those plays I think that he can make, and it's against the best defense in the world. But how much of it is, all right, he did it against the worst defense, now he has to do it against better defenses? And, like, was that success a product of who you guys were playing yesterday?
Who did Denver play the first two games?
They played Washington and Vegas, and then Miami last week.
If I'm not mistaken, I want to say we put up more points on both of those teams. Is that right or wrong?
The first two teams?
No, you put up more than Vegas did. That game was 17-16. Washington scored 35.
35, close. Okay, yeah. So, I mean, I feel like overall, I feel like you can't put it on. I don't think you can put it on. Well, okay, the 32nd. Like, I mean, I feel like Raiders have a good offense. They have Devontae Adams. They have Josh Jacobs, Jimmy G. I mean, he's played at a high level, those guys. So, I mean, I don't think you can just take it away. Even with Washington, I mean, they have some high-level guys, and even their defense. I mean, that's a good team in Washington. So, I mean, I feel like it's not anybody can beat anybody on any given Sunday. I mean, we've seen it with the Cardinals in Dallas. So, I mean, It's not like you can just say that, oh, well, that team is not that good. So that's why it's like, nah, guys still get paid too. Guys still have jobs for a reason. So, I mean, it's not like it's just anybody that you can just roll over and say, oh, well, they're supposed, like, I mean, I don't know. To me, that's a cop-out just to say, oh, well, that's a bad team. It's like, nah, at the end of the day, guys are executing, because of the same way they executed, they could have not executed, and what would have been the reason for that? So, I mean, I don't know. I don't like stuff like that, because anybody can beat anybody in this league. So
that makes sense.
Jaylon, when when the coach decides to go for it on fourth down, I myself loved it. I didn't like the play call offensively necessarily, but I love the decision to go for it because you get that first down and then you can grind out the clock and probably win the game on a field goal. But as a defensive player, like, are you watching that thinking, man, take the 3, then we'll hold him. We'll do our job. I mean, is that how it registers for you?
Is that how it registers for me? Honestly, if it's me, I'm gonna say yeah. I definitely get it. I definitely understand the call. I just think for me, it's like I'm gonna take these 3 points, and I'm gonna make our defense have to step up. And I mean, that's just, especially being a defensive player, I'm gonna take that. Hey, put it on us. Granted, I wasn't out there, but still, just like overall, I would still like to see Russell go down there and put a touchdown up on our defense. So, I mean, either way, they get a field goal. It's like, okay, no problem. We go into overtime, or if we get the ball back, we still have a chance to go back and try to get a field goal. But it's like, I don't know. I just feel like for me, it was like, shoot, put it on the defense. But I mean, again, the offense had a hot hand. I know the defense didn't have too good of a second half. So I mean, there's different factors that weigh into it. Just me personally, I would have kicked it, and then, hey, defense, we got to get a stop. Y'all got to we got to step up in that second half.
These defensive guys, man.
I get it, of course.
I know, but but the offensive guys are probably like, damn right, he believes in us. We can do that. We can finish it. So he's either way, he's showing faith in one side or the other.
Yeah, I mean, those decisions aren't easy at the end of the day. It's like, hey, you got to figure out who has a hot hand. And I feel like, I mean, that day, I feel like the offense had a hot hand. There was a reason why they did it. I mean, I feel like if the offense wasn't rolling as much as they were that day, I don't think he still may have went with that decision. But the offense was making plays, Justin was making plays, and at the end of the day, you gotta go with the hot hand. And then, I mean, even on the defensive side, I mean, I don't know. Either way, I mean, it's easy to say it from when you don't got that mic in your hand and you're not making the call. But I mean, sure, either way, we got to figure out ways to execute on both sides, even on that fourth down, and then of course just holding those guys out of field goal range and really just stepping up.
We're talking to Jaylon Johnson here. Speaking of a mic in his hand, Matt Eberflus has a mic and he talks to the media. He talks post game. He talks today. You know, and he talks 3 times a week at press conferences, and then that doesn't even include on game days. And today he was like, I got to clarify what I said after the game about Claypool, and he faced like 20 questions in a row, all on Chase, and it was a weird day from him.
Yeah.
So
today or yesterday?
Today, but both, frankly. Frankly. I'm wondering, like, you have to have seen some of him in front of the media, press conferences, NFL Network, whatever. Like, what's he like when he stands up in front of you guys? Because the Matt Eberflus that we see in front of the media, Jaylon, if I'm just being honest, uncertain, sometimes a little contradictory, not a lot of conviction. I'm wondering what he's like in front of the team.
Honestly, I haven't really seen any of his. Like, I don't run my social media page right now. I don't see any of that. I haven't seen it, so I can't really say how he is or compare it because I haven't seen him in an interview setting. But I mean, I feel like to us, I feel like everything is pretty. I feel like positive, straightforward. I feel like for the most part, I mean, he gets up there and he says what's on his mind, what's on his heart, and how he feels about certain things, whether it's after a loss, things that we can get better, holding each other accountable, just different things like that, especially in the defensive unit room. We know he's not short or slow to call anybody out. I mean, he's pretty direct, and he asks us what we want. And I don't know. I feel like he is who he is. To me, I haven't really seen him in the media setting.
Gotcha.
Head coaches try really hard to say nothing in the media setting. Like that's the gig these days. Like, say as little as possible. So when you say he's direct, that's good for us to hear. Like he tells you directly if somebody messed up, tries to hold people accountable, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, for us, of course, there's only so much I feel like a head coach can do. I think it also goes back to the team as a unit. I mean, he can only say so much and point out so many different things, but it's like at the end of the day, too, we got to bear some of that responsibility as well as getting on each other and holding each other accountable. But I definitely know when there's something that goes up, especially on the defensive side, since he's taken over. He's going to point it out and say who needs to do better or what needs to be done for us to get stops and things like that. So I mean, we definitely know what he wants from us and what the standard is.
You ever have a coach that you and your teammates would be like, oh man, this guy's out of his depth. This guy is overwhelmed. Like any level, like pee-wee football or junior high. You ever have a coach where you're like, man, it's
out of his depth. Like, what you mean by that?
Like he's overwhelmed. He can't. He's not smart. You know, like because you're a smart guy, Jaylon. Like, ever have a coach where you and your teammates are like, man, this dude doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
Oh, 100%. I've had a few of those coaches. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've had a few.
So what happens to a team when people feel like that about a coach?
I mean, I feel like it's just one of those things where it's like you hear them, but you don't always listen. Like you always are. I mean, for me, I feel like you always are respectful. You take some of the things that you feel like you can use, and whatever you feel like you can't use, I mean, don't use it, and you go and you apply and you do what you think you should do, especially as a professional when that kind of happens, or if you feel like there's not enough being, I feel like, said to you or brought to you to be able to help your game, then I mean, it's your job as a professional to prepare yourself to get right, to take care of your part. So I mean, I would say bad coaches are not so smart coaches. I mean, it's not the higher you go, it's not always on them. It's at some point you got to figure it out as well. But there's definitely some coaches that don't add too much value to you.
I'm Googling the Utah staff.
No,
right
no,
now.
Don't do that to him.
I'm kidding.
Oh, no, hey, y'all can dig in whatever you want to dig in. I ain't say no names.
Yeah, no, you didn't put any names out there. That's true. You'll just leave us to guess. Jaylon, what's going on with Chase Claypool?
I'm laughing, though. I am laughing, but honestly, I don't know. It kind of came out the blue for me, too. I can only assume, these are only assumptions. I feel like it was just a matter of, the way I take it in my head is like, it was probably strike 3. So, I mean, I feel like at some point it has to be something that was done. The only thing that I can think of maybe was the interview where people didn't really like what he had said about being used right and those different things. I mean, that could be, again, I'm not 100% sure on what got to that point, but I feel like at some point they felt like he was, I would say, out of pocket or doing something that they didn't agree with or didn't like after a certain point. And I mean, I feel like they did. What exactly did they do? Dismiss him from the team?
Well, no, I mean, they said he's staying home this week, so he's also not going to be playing Thursday against Washington, and there's reports out there that they're trying to trade him from Jay Glazer.
Oh, yeah, no, that's all. Honestly, that's all news to me. I thought it was just a one-game thing. But, I mean, honestly, again, it goes back to, like, the situation with our old DC. Just, I mean, at some point, you can't focus on it too much. Like, whatever is going on, whatever the outside noise is, it is what it is. Things come up. I mean, there's some disagreements. There's some things that happen, and you got to continue to move on. But I mean, honestly, I don't know too much. I don't know. I don't know. But I mean, I feel like it's just one of those things where it's like, it's unfortunate. You don't want a player, I feel like him. I mean, I feel like he's made a lot of big plays in this league, and I feel like he can be somebody to really add some value. He can do some really good things for us on the offensive side. So I mean, I definitely don't like things like that happening. I wish we could have got him to maximize himself and maximize his role on the team. But I mean, at the end of the day, whatever they choose to do, keep him or trade him or whatever it may be, I mean, that is what it is. And I wish him the best no matter what it is. I want him to succeed here or anywhere else he goes. So I mean, quite honestly, I don't know too much or have too much to say on that situation.
Fair enough. Short week. I know you had to be listed on the injury report today, as a not practice. I mean, is there any shot of you playing Thursday night?
Honestly, I'm trying to ramp up. Like, I started running, trying to get my legs back going. So I mean, just really trying to wait and see how my body continues to respond. But I'm hoping to be back really soon. It's just what my body says. I mean, I've been doing really good. I know I'm going to be back a lot sooner than a lot of people had thought or guessed at first. So I'm really just trying to take care of my body. I mean, I'm sitting in the car because I was coming back from doing some therapy and things like that. So I mean, I'm really just trying to do everything that I can and give myself the best chance, but also being smart, and that's what the staff wants to do as well. So kind of just gauging where I'm at, gauging how I'm feeling, any discomfort, anything when it comes to running or doing any drills and things like that. So definitely just pushing myself the right way, but also being smart and listening to my body, and hopefully I can be back out there as soon as possible.
You know, some of the stories that we've been talking about and dealing with, they're so big, like whether it's Justin or Chase or the DC. We haven't really had a chance to focus on a lot of the other players. You mentioned Terrell Smith. I thought he played a really good game the other day. Tell us a couple people that you were watching. You were like, man, look at that. That guy's a player. Like, give us a couple people that you were watching and enjoying among your teammates yesterday.
Let me see. I don't know what you said, Terrell. I feel like Greg Stroman's been doing a good job since Kyler's been out. I can say him.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's came in and he's made some plays in the run game. I feel like he's been having some good drops in zone. I know he's taken away a lot of things. He hasn't had an opportunity for too much ball production, but I definitely know he's had caused the quarterback to turn away or to throw a bad pass or do certain things like that. And I feel like he's been playing good since he came in. I was excited to see DJ go for over 100. I definitely like that.
Mm-hmm.
Cole, he got rolling too. Cole got rolling on offense, and even like Khalil, man, I told Khalil too on the side. I'm like, Khalil, you one guy away from breaking the whole, like turning the whole stadium up, and it's like even like certain, like we'll see, and he's like, man, I know. I'm just like, man, Khalil, like you right there. I need him to make that dude. I forget what play it was, but I need him to make that dude miss and take that long one to the house. I know I'm excited for him. I thought he can do some really good things. I just need him to make that one explosive. Well, not even just for me, but for himself. And I would love to see him go the distance. I know he's a good back. I just want to see him take one to the house. But I mean, I feel like overall, those are the guys I would say that stood out.
Yep.
Jaylon, it's always great to talk to you, man. Terry McLaurin this week, then your guy Justin Jefferson week after that, then Devontae Adams.
Yeah,
I mean we
Charger.
Yeah. Then Keenan Allen on prime time. Then Chris Olave. I mean, we need you back, man. I need to see you in these one-on-one matchups. I want you trailing guys left and right side of the field. Like, let's
You're
go.
Not telling me nothing I don't want to do. Hey, I know I'm trying to be back. I mean, I definitely can't miss Justin again. I feel like
That's what I'm saying. You keep missing Justin.
Yeah, no. I'm not gonna say I keep missing, but it just ain't lined up yet. But I got a long time to get right, to prepare for him, and then my favorite Devontae. So I mean, I'm looking forward. I feel like I'll be back for those. That's my goal for sure, is to be back for those games and get those matchups. I'm hoping I'm following and getting back going to what I used to do, man. So I mean, I'm looking forward to it and competing and winning those matchups.
All right, man. Thank you so much. And I know you've already agreed, and we really appreciate you, man. I know you're going to come on again Friday after the game against Washington. So thank you very much again for the show and everything. So our audience loves listening to you, man. Thank you.
No problem. You guys have a good one.